The first thing that we do is we're never going to give our pain a voice. I said, what does that mean, Chad? He said, I know it's going to be hard. I know you're going to say, I don't have what it takes. I don't have enough experience. I have blisters. I'm tired. This stinks. This is miserable. I know you're going to think all that. We're all going to think that. But we're never going to speak those words. Because once we speak those words, we give them power.
VaynerSpeakers.
During my training, I did 10 training runs of 38 miles. And every time I got to 38 miles, I stopped. I was like, that's my limit, 38 miles. Not bad. 38, I'm 53, 38 miles. Then I heard a podcast. I heard of a guy named Chad Wright, a Navy SEAL, on a podcast, not the Navy SEAL that lived with me. And in the podcast, he's saying that he took a guy that only ran 5 miles in his life, longest run, to the finish line of a 100-mile race by repeating the words, I will not quit, over and over and over. And I'm like, that's impossible. I've been running my whole life. Nobody could show up at the starting line of a race with a 5-mile base and run 100 miles. But this guy's a Navy SEAL on a big podcast. I highly doubt he's lying. And if he could get someone to 20x, I want to 20x everything. Business, life. So I cold call the guy. Create your own luck. Put yourself on the field. I cold call him. I tell him my problem. He goes, I can solve this in 2 days. A week later, he's at my breakfast table. Chad is a Southern guy, a guy from the deep South with a beard down to here like ZZ Top, tattooed all over his body, really intimidating looking. And he comes into my house. The first day, he doesn't say one word to me. He doesn't say a single word to me. My friends are calling me up. They're like, did you change your cadence? Are you running differently? I said, he hasn't said a word to me. Actually, he's just stroking his beard, sitting there. He's freaking me out. This is Chad Wright. Finally, at dinner, we get to dinner, and he says to me, Jesse, tomorrow we're going to start at 0500, but we're going to meet at 4:45 in the kitchen and go over our mission. I'm like, what? We're going to meet for 15 minutes and we're going to break through my 38-mile thing that I've been doing for training forever? This is insane. We get down into the kitchen at 4:45 in the morning, and he goes, Jesse, today we're going to do 3 things and 3 things only. And if you do these 3 things, you're going to shatter your 38 miles. The first thing that we do is we're never going to give our pain a voice. I said, what does that mean, Chad? He said, I know it's going to be hard. I know you're going to say, I don't have what it takes. I don't have enough experience. I have blisters. I'm tired. This stinks. This is miserable. I know you're going to think all that. We're all going to think that. But we're never going to speak those words. Because once we speak those words, we give them power. If I ask you how you're feeling today during the run, your only answer is going to be, I feel outstanding. How do you feel? How do you feel? Number 2, we're never going to die in the chair. What does that mean, Chad? He said that there's only 2 outcomes today. We hit our mission, or we exhaust every possible resource and option we have, and we just don't get there. And either one's acceptable. But we're taking quitting off the table. We're never going to come back and sit in this chair and say, I quit. And the third thing is, we're going to be grateful. Even though it's tough times, COVID, this and that, we all have a lot to be grateful for. And every lap that we come in for our 4.2-mile loop, when we sit down, we're going to talk about something that we're grateful for. Well, that day I did those 3 things, and I shattered the 30. I blew through 50. Fast forward 30 days later, I'm at the start of the Hennepin 100-mile run. Chad Wright is running it with me. We get to mile 74, and I'm broken. I have hypothermia. I'm freezing. I have toenails floating around in my shoe. I'm battered. He can sense it. He stops. We're walking. He says, Jess, I'm going to tell you something about me, man, that nobody knows. It's a miracle, man. It's a miracle. I said, what's that, Chad? He says, I never get tired. It's crazy. I never get tired. I want you to say it. But I was so exhausted and beaten, I couldn't do it. So I said, nah, Chad, just go ahead and say it. Chad, I never get tired. He said, man, say it like you mean it. Chad, I never get tired. He says, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to let you walk to the aid station a quarter mile up. When we get to the aid station, you let everybody know the miracle of Jesse and Chad. We don't get tired. We get to the aid station. I hobble in there. They give me some soup, some drink. I get caught up. I said to the nice volunteer, I said, sir, thank you so much. I'm Jesse. This is my friend Chad. This is going to sound crazy, sir, but Chad and I, we don't get tired. We don't get tired. He's like, what? I'm like, no, we don't get tired. Chad grabs me like this and goes, let's go. We take off. 77 miles in, how do you feel? Outstanding. 70 miles in, you tired? I don't get tired, man. 80 miles, 83 miles, how do you feel? Outstanding. 89, 90 miles, you tired, Chad? I don't get tired. 95, 97, how do you feel, Chad? Outstanding. 98, 99, all the way to the finish line of a 100-mile race. The words that we speak are powerful. My son is dyslexic. The teacher said the other day, your son is really struggling. I said, are you telling me that my son is working hard but hasn't grasped the concepts? Be mindful of the words that you say, the people around you, your kids. When I had nothing, sleeping on 18 couches, I used to walk into my office every single day. You know what I say, Neil, to my partner? We're millionaires. They just haven't paid us yet. We're millionaires, man. They just haven't paid us yet.